do.
Moral of the
You never
story.
know when they're going to save your
seriously,
life.
moral of the story of all the stories is that when God tells you to do something, or you have the little notion that you need to do something, take the second and do it. Yeah. Even as far as like, God has asked me to pray for people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't pray for that person. Like, she's going to think I'm crazy. She's going to think I'm weird.
So you're saying out loud, like next to
or
them.
anything. Like, sometimes God asks things of you that are out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Or he asks you to do something as simple as, oh, Des, I think you should text your friend because there's a reason. Mm-hmm. And I think that we should never ignore those things. Yeah. Because we don't know what's on the other side of that prayer, or what that person is hearing on the other side, or what they needed, or even as far as you, what you needed. And so my encouragement is to really listen to the prompts and the God moments that God is giving you, because you really have no idea what is going to come after that.
Absolutely. And that's not to say that bad things don't happen. Like car accidents happen, people die. But I think the Lord does save us because he still has purpose for us.
Absolutely.
And we can see that hand. And then when it's time to go, however the Lord wants to take us, it's that time. But like you said, don't ignore those prompts, because the Lord still wants to use us, and he wants to save people. Yeah. That's why we're here.
Absolutely. Love it.
All right. So fun question. What other time period would you live in?
Ooh, that is challenging.
Isn't it? Like 60s, 50s.
It would 100% be the 60s.
Yeah.
I love the Beatles.
Yeah. That's
love the Beatles.
I'm not a Beatles fan.
Die hard. I don't know how we're friends then.
Opposites attract.
I love you in spite of that. Okay,
thank you. Unconditional
but the
love.
Beatles, to be around when it was like huge and there was that sensation. I mean, not to say that the Beatles aren't loved now, but different. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Plus that era, I just like the vibe.
Yeah.
And the way that men are polite to women.
That's
during
true.
that time.
Yeah.
Like chivalry.
Yeah.
And just like the simplicity of life. Simplicity of going out till whenever and having to call someone and wait for them to call you back. Like, I want to go back to that.
I know.
I want to go back to where we had just our lives and like less competition and, I don't know, more time of just speaking to one another and hanging out and being out late at night with not being connected to your phone.
Absolutely.
Like just those things, that time. And also because I love the Beatles, if I didn't say it, because I would love to be in that era. But yeah,
I would have loved to have seen that too. Like, I do appreciate their music and their musicianship, and not denying, obviously, that they changed music. But, yeah.
Okay.
So, we can still be friends, right?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
You love coffee, and so.
Yeah, I do. Well, now that I'm a decaf drinker, or half calf.
Still fine.
It's still
coffee.
It's still Starbucks. But, what was I going to say? I totally lost my train of thought there.
That's okay.
But that's okay.
Coffee, sponsor us.
Coffee, yes. Starbucks or Dunkin'.
People listening are like, stop asking people that. We're like, okay.
The gals run on Dunkin'. Actually, I don't really.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just got to say, not a Dunkin' lover.
No, I used to be. Up until
Once
the
upon
point.
a time.
Yeah. I mean, my colors for my wedding were the Dunkin' Donuts colors. Orange and yellow.
I need to see pictures of this.
Yeah. Yeah, they were actually the most beautiful flowers that you've ever seen.
I'm sure they were.
They were.
I want to see them.
Awesome. Most hated chore.
Putting away the laundry.
Yeah, me too.
Putting away the laundry.
I hate it.
Ugh.
I love actually doing the wash,
I don't
like
mind. It's
throwing
clean,
all the clothes in there.
It's great. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
But the putting it away,
sorting it,
there's always like not enough room.
Yes,
that once
none of
was
hangers.
there.
Yeah,
not enough hangers. Socks. Nope.
Socks, yeah.
I read this meme that said like somewhere in the world there's like the lone sock and the hairband that have disappeared from your life and they're just like hanging out together. I believe that to be true.
The lone sock and the hairband.
I said that one time the lone sock like reincarnated into a Tupperware lid that doesn't fit any of your Tupperware. That one is so funny.
I was thinking of that when I was reorganizing my Tupperware the other day.
It always happens. You're like, this Tupperware lid doesn't fit anything. Where did it come
from?
Or
you have no Tupperware.
It's a sock that once
it reincarnated.
It was a sock.
That's perfect. Yeah. I love that. And now every time I look at my Tupperware, I think of that. I'm like, it's a sock somewhere.
It's a sock.
I should just go do my laundry and maybe I'll pop out my Tupperware.
Maybe it'll be the bottom that it needs to be.
I'm at the point where I'm just going to throw all my Tupperware out.
Yeah, I hate it.
Dream vacation. It's our last one. Then you could be anywhere right now besides doing this podcast.
I mean, Brock has been to Turks and Caicos. And
I always hear about
he
it.
said it was the most beautiful place
Yeah.
he's ever been to. And I really, really love the beach and the ocean. I feel God's presence so strongly when I'm there. And also for me, it just gives me an all over sense of peace.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, it slows me down in a different way. So I feel I would probably pick somewhere where it would be a lovely beach. But I also really want to go to Barcelona, which is the opposite of that. But I would say number one, probably Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, I heard the water for people with anxiety, that it kind of like gives them peace. There's something about the movement and the sound of the water.
Yeah, I love it.
That's why they have those in spas. You
Yes,
just,
exactly.
you hear the music and the dripping
I don't even
of a
need to
water
get anything
fountain.
done at the spa. I just want to sit there
Yeah.
and listen to it.
And just smell all the good smells. That was the other point I was going to make too when you were talking about the Beatles. For some reason, this popped in my head. Like you mentioned social media and wanting to go back to a point where we didn't compare each other, have all these comparisons. And I think that brings along a lot of anxiety too.
Absolutely.
Social media, comparison. There was one other thought I had, but it totally left me. Because we really want to help you who deal with anxiety, and putting your phone down is one of those things that's going to help it. And sometimes not having my phone actually brings on anxiety now.
I know.
It's such a shame that we're so dependent on our phones. It's like my way of
And
being
so
connected
conditioned
with
to
people. Yeah. Like stopping at the red light to reach for my phone.
Right.
Even though sometimes it can save your life. It's not always.
If God's speaking to you.
If God's speaking to you, do it. Just not as you're driving. But
Comparison is
it's deadly.
it's really, really terrible.
Yeah, it causes suicide.
We're never gonna be another person.
Yeah, never.
We're all our own individual selves, and it's hard, especially when all we see is other people posting vacations, posting fashion, posting this video, or they wrote this song, or they're doing this tour, and you look at it and you're like, I'm not enough.
Yeah,
Even
I'm
as a
going
mom,
nowhere.
like I see moms that pack these lunches.
I know.
And I see these boxes. There are all these lunches, like they're like cute
Yes.
little sandwich that they've made into like an animal, and then they have like all this stuff. And I am over here like, I can't even cook a hot dog. Like
Yeah.
how?
Or boil
And then
an egg.
and then I think I'm a terrible mom because I can't pack this lunch.
Yeah.
Like I should never feel that way.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just not
shouldn't.
the mom that's good at
You're
packing that
keeping your
lunch.
kids alive.
Okay, they're alive. Hey, that's
an accomplishment.
That is an accomplishment. But I am a mom that I'm good at something else.
Right.
But it took a long time to I still have those moments where I'm like, ooh, that lady, I don't know, she does this with her kids, but that's her and I'm me. And we each have to see that we're different and we're created in a special way, and we are who God wants us to be. We're all not perfect. And as I said before, social media is a highlight reel. We don't always show the yucky stuff. You know, last night I wanted to take a picture of the new cat, but I had a face mask on. And I was, but
Hey,
not
girl,
even
I've done that
not
before,
even a full
though.
face mask though, like just in the T-zone.
Oh, so you're like a
Right? So I had a
football
face
player
mask
at
on.
that point.
And I was thinking, this is how terrible social media is. I was like, I want to post a picture of this cat because she's so cute right now. But I had this face mask on
That
and I
would've
look
been
ridiculous.
hilarious.
So I didn't post it. And I'm saying this because, like, even though I talk about, like, not comparing, I still had this thought,
We
like,
do it
oh,
too.
man, people are going to see me with the stupid face mask on and they're going to have opinions because I'm a people pleaser.
Me too.
And that's part of the struggle with comparison. We're people pleasers. We want to make people happy. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for others. We want others to feel comfortable around us. We don't want to hurt them. And so I'm so careful about what I do because I don't want the judgment. I don't want the negativity. I don't want someone to be upset with me. I don't want to say something that's going to hurt someone. So it's not just the comparison. It's also worrying about that. It's also people pleasing. So I don't want you to think I'm perfect in this because I'm not. I still do it, even like the face mask last night. I should have just
too.
posted the cute photo of the cat with my stupid face mask on. And I mean, it's relatable. People wear face masks. But in my mind, I was like, nah, I can't.
Girl,
Sounds
I've done
silly
a
now,
full
though.
face mask where I posted it.
Doesn't it sound silly now that
Yeah.
now that you hear it out loud? Like that's so dumb.
Yeah, no, you're not dumb.
That's so dumb.
So what are some of the things that you are proud of as a mother? Like, what are some of the things that you do well?
well,
Yeah.
It's hard.
Oh, see?
Being a mom, you really I
We
don't.
dealt well on the negative. So
All I can
much.
think about is a ton of things that I don't do correct right now. I can say that my girls are strong girls. Like, I want my girls to feel empowered. I want them to have a voice. I want them to be able to speak up for themselves. And I want them to know that being an individual and being who they are is wonderful. They don't have to be anything like each other, that they should have their own goals and their own hopes and their own dreams. And that shouldn't have to matter to each of them. I want them to not compare to just each other.
Sure.
So those are the things that I'm proud of by empowering them.
I think that's pretty good.
I mean, other than that, I love them.
Yeah.
And I just want to love them so much that they don't have to ever guess.
Yeah.
And I'm always there. I want them to know that they can always talk to me. Yeah. So I try to do that. I'm not perfect at it. But those are the things that I want for them. So I guess that's something that I can see as a good part of me. But it is hard. As moms, we definitely think of all the negative things. Like, just then I panicked and was thinking, ooh, I don't know. Yeah. Do I do anything correctly?
Because we're so focused on dwelling on the negative. It's such a part of our sinful nature to do that. It's not natural for us to think of the positive things.
No.
Well, some people, they can. It's more natural for them to think positive. But yeah, even the other day, I was in the house all day and I felt bad for my son because we didn't really do anything. We didn't go to the park. I don't go to the zoo. I mean, a lot of my anxiety,
ditto, girl.
Comes from, being in crowds and stuff like that. So I don't really like doing that. But again, I'm like taking away from his, childhood or whatever. But I was talking to my pastor about all of this and he said, just Jesus said even giving a cup of cold water to your son or giving him a meal, like that's a good mom.
Yeah.
I mean, there are moms out there who are doing horrible things to their children and I can't read about it because it upsets me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on the positive things that I do, and I love him, and I kiss him if I could kiss him all day long. I just love his face.
So cute.
He is really cute. And to focus on the positive things and write them down, especially on days when you're not feeling like you're a good mom, because
oh my goodness, I'm so glad you said that, because we had talked about this, that in one of my sessions with Kim Walker-Smith, she had challenged us to write down God moments. Write down the positive moments, date, time, what that moment was, times when you heard God speak, times when you saw an answer to prayer, times when you felt proud and accomplished, and like the positive things, positive affirmations, so that when you are struggling or when you are feeling like in a funk or you're sad, you can go back and you can see those timelines. You can see a specific date and specific time, and you can read those affirmations that God has given you, which is an encouragement throughout the week. So when she told me that, I was like, whoa, why have I not done this? I mean, it's one thing to journal. I love to journal. I love to write things, but I never thought to write a specific date and time. And I think that is a game changer, because you can go back to a year from now and you can say, look at all these things over this past year that God has done. And I think that that's just such a powerful thing to do. So my encouragement to you guys via Kim Walker-Smith is to do that journaling. It's not my idea, it's hers. And I just think it's amazing. And my other thing that I do is at the beginning of every year, I write down hopes and dreams for the year. On New Year's Day, I make a list for myself, for my family, for my career, goals, things like that. And then I get to look back and see what has happened in that time, or how maybe my goals have shifted, or what it will look like for the next year. But a way to mark things down is really helpful when you feel discouraged. So do that.
And it's funny because God's word was written down. God wants us to write things down, even if it's on your phone. But there definitely is something about putting pen to paper.
I love pen to paper.
That is special. Because
I love a good journal too.
Yeah. And you have to actually write the words, like the letters.
Yes.
And it's something different that's typing is a lot different. It's not as personal.
Even when I write lyrics,
yeah,
I tend to just immediately write pen to paper.
Yeah. It's just something more personal about it, something more intimate.
Yes.
It's coming from your heart. So let's share a song that we've been playing nonstop this weekend, Julie.
In closing of this podcast, we decided it would be fun to share a song that we've been nonstop playing.
Yes.
What's yours? Do you have one?
You want me to share first?
Yeah, you share first.
Well, it's funny you ask because I'm